River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Niner Nuts. The whole gang is here. I am Dan, here along with Mr. Jimmy B and Eric. Happy Victory Monday, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Doing pretty good. Who says Jalen Hurts can't throw the ball? If only he could have ran one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
For real. For real.
For like 500 reasons why.
God, that bonus would have been very nice. There we go. Now I got the ticker right. Gentlemen and everyone listening, we are celebrating because we are 5-2. We are still on top of the Rams via tiebreaker in the NFC West because on Sunday Night Football, we beat those Atlanta Falcons. We held Bijan in check. That was the one thing we needed to do. He didn't break the game open for the Falcons. And here are all those nerdy numbers I love to talk about before we really dive into it. Mac Jones wasn't really asked to do much. They said after the game that the game plan was to just feature Christian McCaffrey, try to run it down their throats, and by God, that's what happened. Mac Jones only had 152 passing yards and one really fluky, pretty unfortunate pick, and he only took one sack. But that didn't break the game for us, luckily. That didn't break the game for us in our favor. So he did his thing, pretty efficient overall. Christian McCaffrey, though, like I said, 24 carries and 7 receptions. That is 31 touches for 201 yards. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. It was literally his game. Bijan had some nice runs with his carries. Mac Jones scrambled a couple times. And then the ball got passed around a couple times. Juwan caught a couple short passes. And George Kittle dropped both of his targets. So that was what broke my personal ticket. I mean, also Kendrick Bourne free falling from 130 yards down to 14. But the formula worked. Every time we had the ball, we killed the clock. Still ended up getting field goals. Shout out to Mr. Eddie Pinheiro, hitting both of his field goals over 40 yards. The longest being 55.
And now he holds the record for most consecutive field goals to start the season, or as like a 40, start a season as a 49er.
He has the most made field goals in the league currently. So
yeah,
he can hang his hat on that too. He's only missed one extra point. Otherwise, all his actual field goal kicks, he's made every one of them, which are more important.
His first kick he missed, and then we were like, "Oh no!" And then he's been perfect ever since. So
yeah.
Oh, he's been oh my God! Shout out to Eddie. He's been amazing.
So and then to tell me I was right. They're just kickers everywhere if you just look for one.
Yeah, real.
I think so.
And then shout out to the defense too, especially Tatum Bethune stepping in. We thought he was out for a little bit, but he came back in the second half. Shout out to Bryce Huff too, a really critical pair of sacks. Just everybody on the super young defense stepped up and held the Falcons to 10 points, really threw Michael Penix off. The Falcons, we held Bijan Robinson, luckily, to 92 total yards. He did have a receiving touchdown. And then Michael Penix had 240 yards against us. But otherwise, like, Darnell Mooney broke off a couple passes to us, and Kyle Pitts was hard to cover. But bend don't break. We didn't let them in the end zone except once. So, I mean, what's there really to complain about? A win's a win, even if it's a little ugly, a little sloppy. But I want to celebrate this win. This was a total opposite approach to how we had been, where the box was loaded and Mac had to pass 40 times a game. Mac just had to not turn the ball over. And again, that one, yes, he threw a pick, but it was kind of a fluky, that was just a fluky pass. And otherwise, Christian McCaffrey, we got to finally ride on him for the entire game again. Just bringing George Kittle back for those extra blocks with Trent Williams, night and day difference in our running game. And Kittle, after the game, also apologized to everybody that bet on him and had him in fantasy. Just, didn't mean to lay an egg on you. That was Kyle's game plan to just run Christian 40 times. But I don't know. It was a little nerve-wracking up until halftime, but then, I got that sigh of relief by the time we got to the fourth quarter. It didn't feel like the Falcons were going to do anything, and then we got that last touchdown to put us up 10. I was like, all right, I think we're good. So I don't know. Very proud of these guys. This defense really stood up against a very unique offense. And offensively, we imposed our will on them, killed the clock, didn't have to drop a 40 burger to beat these guys. We just had to own the clock. And after a kind of scary first quarter where it didn't seem like that was going to happen, that's when our will got imposed. And just a nice solid win all around. Everybody did very well, even on special teams, no complaints.
Well, I mean, this is going to be how the 49ers are going to have to win games going forward. I mean, they're going to have to own the clock. They're going to have to dominate the ball. They're going to have to score, more than 20 points, obviously, and just impose their will on people like they did in this game. So, it's going to be a feature-heavy dose of Christian McCaffrey. It's going to be the quarterback being efficient with the ball. And the defense playing tough, hard-nosed D like they did in this game. It's a unique feature that Kyle has, that he has a cheat code in Christian McCaffrey that he can unleash on people like he does. And he's not afraid to do it, and he uses him relentlessly. I would be terrified and I still am terrified every time he gets tackled that he's going to break into a million pieces. but Kyle just runs him and uses him and does whatever with him anyways. It doesn't matter. He runs him up the middle all the time. He runs him into traffic all the time and has him out running routes all the time and just does whatever. I mean, he's on pace for like 8,000 touches this season. I mean, it's something ridiculous. So
I love pulling this up because he's projected to have 300 carries for 1,100 yards and 129 catches for 1,200 yards.
That's insane.
Just absurd. And there's no sign we're changing that. He's still good for at least 6 catches a game and at least 15 carries, if not 20.
But let's not get too overramped here, because the minute we start looking at those numbers and being like, oh my gosh, could this happen?
It's not remotely sustainable. Absolutely not.
But what I'm saying is, like, when we, after, what is it, week 7 we're in now, and you see numbers like that, I know it's unattainable. We can say that now, but still just like looking at him and thinking, oh my gosh, could this happen? We're gonna give him the Puka Nacua curse, because then he's gonna get injured or something. Like, it just, and with the amount that they're using him, there still is a good chance that could happen. So you just hope that, he stays together and, knock on wood, doesn't get injured.
It's just insane. Like, we literally just needed him. Like, in terms of offense, obviously on defense, everybody had to come together. But on offense, he is our number 1 receiver and our number 1 back.
Wow.
Like, MVP. Like, I don't know, he's definitely not in the conversation for MVP, which is just kind of wild to me. Because, one, it's quarterbacks, but then there's Jonathan Taylor doing his thing in Indy. I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of,
there's Daniel Jones. And it's like,
yeah. Plus, I mean, he won Offensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, and like we get what's that called when we're just kind of used to this. Like, this is his standard. Like, not recency bias, but we just expect this from him, when really we should take a minute every week to appreciate that this is not normal. You don't have a running back that carries the ball 24 times and then has 7 receptions for over 200 yards. This doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, what he's doing is pretty outstanding. I mean, good shout out to Jonathan Taylor from Indy too. He's putting together a spectacular season as well.
Losing offensive player of the year to him wouldn't be no shame. Jonathan Taylor's having a career year.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, McCaffrey should be offensive player of the year unquestioned right now. I mean, there's no, well, I mean, you know, his competition, Bijan Robinson, was the biggest competition for probably offensive player of the year, and he just outpaced him, you know, in a head-to-head matchup by 100 yards.
Yeah, I told you guys we need, or well, James, you weren't here, but hold Bijan in check. That's all we got to do. Like, that's the biggest thing we have to do. Hold Bijan in check. We didn't let Drake London 4 catches for 42 yards. He didn't take over the game. Darnell Mooney had 3 catches, but none of them got into the end zone. Kyle Pitts, I see 7 catches for 62 yards, but he also didn't take over the game. We just had to do our best to They kind of did what we do. We kind of made them have to play like we do. We're sure we can move the ball and then just have trouble getting into the end zone. We made them look like what people were saying about us this week, which was kind of satisfying in its own way.
Yeah, well, they talked a lot on the broadcast that the Falcons have been having trouble in the red zone this season and trouble scoring points once they get down there, and that was evident in this particular game. I mean, they couldn't get down into the red zone. We'd have to flip over to the other stats to see the team percentages to see what they had as far as red zone success and everything like that. We held them out of the red zone or out of the end zone, which was key. They were able to pass on us a little bit. Sometimes it felt like a little bit about like death by 1,000 paper cuts when they were throwing the ball, which is a little concerning. Some of that I think was attributed to Fred not being out there because he kind of wipes out the middle of that field a lot of times with his ability to cover linebacker or not linebackers, but tight ends and things like that. That's normally his area. So that was a little concerning there early on. Feels like we might be able to get exploited over the middle. So it's going to be something that Saleh's going to have to look at and fix.
Lots of short yardage situations that we gave up last night. I noticed, like, if it was 3 or less yards, we basically like gave it up.
Yeah. Yep. But I mean, shout out to the young defense still. I mean, you know, it's basically Demo and a bunch of young kids out there. And so, you know, they played great. They played hard. We had to substitute in a couple of guys even as the game went through. You know, so you got guys out there who didn't even plan on playing, like Chase Lucas, who made a huge play on 4th down one time.
That pass breakup was amazing. Like, he didn't even, like, on slow-mo, I mean, if we're being real, the ball did like go past his hand and into London's chest, but because he was so in the way of it, London blinked and didn't think he was going to catch it, and still, that's credit to Lucas for making him blink and still let that ball just go right through him.
Yeah. And Luter Jr. was out there making plays as well. I mean, he was making tackles. So, I mean, you know, credit to those guys for stepping up and coming in and making plays. So, I mean, you know, you can't ask more out of this defense than what they've been doing.
It's this guy right here, Tatum. He was asked something damn near impossible to take up the Mike linebacker from Fred Warner, or I think it was Mike, but take up the middle linebacker spot, take the leadership of the defense and keep the ship afloat. And he did his best impression. He led the team in tackles. He had a nice tackle for loss. He was calling the defensive plays. Like, he didn't, I mean, as far as I could tell, like, without watching the all 22 film, just the eye test of the broadcast, he did a phenomenal job. Like,
yeah. I mean, this defense overall, like, you know, no Nick Bosa, no Fred Warner out there, and to go out and hold, you know, this offense. I mean, maybe the Falcons aren't, you know, putting up gaudy numbers, but at the same time, you know, they have Bijan Robinson, they have Drake London, they have Mike Mike Pitts, like all these guys that they can go to on offense, and all this talent on offense, and it's just basically, with this group of individuals to hold them to 10 points, and I you have to like really give credit to them, given the fact that like their defensive stars are gone, and they're basically sort of like this patchwork defense. And so credit to them, credit to Saleh for being able to hold the Falcons to just 10 points.
You're the one that's reminded us every now and then that like, yo, you remember you re-signed Saleh, right? Like, and it's incredible. Like, I doubt him or Kyle are gonna win coach and assistant coach of the year, but there's a phenomenal case that you can make for both of them. It's kind of like Aaron Glenn. It's Aaron Glenn last year with the Lions. Like, sans we haven't fallen off a cliff yet like they did, but
and back to like we talked about, like when Bryce Huff was traded or picked up by the 49ers, and with Saleh, I mean, he had his best season under Saleh at the Jets. So like he went to the Eagles, they really couldn't find a place for him or whatever, and they picked up Bryce Huff because he had his best year under Robert Saleh, and look, he had a decent game this game. Like he was making plays on the field, and so
he would have had 2 sacks if I'll give Lenore. I have to give Lenore a little bit of crap for this. He would have had 2 sacks if Lenore didn't get handsy on that one play and get flagged for illegal touching.
Yeah,
but thank you for giving us Bryce Huff. He did his best Bosa impression yesterday, and he was a beast.
And honestly, like you look at like the Eagles' edge play throughout the season, it hasn't been very good. They've relied more on their defensive backs and linebackers and stuff, to do most, just keeping everything in front of them, because they're not getting a whole lot of pressure and production from the edges. So it kind of at this point, like we won. Jalen looked great and everything, but one of the weaknesses in the Eagles is that we don't have good edge play. And credit to Saleh. I mean, he knows how to.
It's like you had a diamond in the rough and you just let him go.
Personally, I think last year our edge play was just so much better than it is now, and the players that we had and things like that. That the other players were just showing more promise and production and things like that last year. So I think they put, the Eagles put too much emphasis on some of the young defensive end talent that we have, and they let Huff go. And so, credit to, that is a sore spot in Philly, that they couldn't do anything with Bryce Huff, especially after the money they gave him. And then, now he's back under Saleh and, producing. So,
what's wild is that he is supposed to be like a situational guy. Like he has to be pretty prominent now. But when Bosa was out there, he was a situational guy, whether it was taking Bosa off or taking Markell off or someone on the interior off and rushing 3 edge rushers, quote unquote. Huff was not supposed to be a prominent piece. He was just supposed to be like a second, third, fourth down, like situational guy.
Well, yeah, he's a beast. He was asked to do more, and he's stepping up. Well, yeah, and this guy had talent rushing off the edge, obviously. Because back in what was it, 2023, he was, I think he had like the highest pressure win rate of anybody else in the league. And, so there obviously was talent there. The Eagles didn't know how to use it, trade him, and now he's doing better under the guy that he had his best season under. So,
absolutely. Did you guys, just thinking of, I just remembered it, like, did you guys cheer as loud as I did when we forced Michael Penix to throw an intentional grounding, and there was exactly 10 seconds on the clock, and so halftime just automatically happened?
Yeah, I was pretty happy about that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was wondering, like, the second that he sailed that ball, like, I looked at the clock and I was like, oh my God, are they going to call him for grounding? And then they decided to make it a little dramatic. They wanted to talk it over and make sure first. It was like, dude, it was grounding. What are we doing? And then we finally got it. Because you can't just throw the ball away when you're in the pocket. You have to, even if the guy can't, even if the guy has no shot at catching it, you can't airmail it that bad.
Oh yeah. There was nobody there. Like, if there's a guy like just standing on the sideline right there, and you throw it 50 feet above his head, then it's not grounding. But take that guy out, it's grounding.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was such a key play too, because they were going to get points. So I mean, it took away 3 points from potentially 3 points from them, but yeah, I mean, took away potential 3 points. But back to a point that you were making earlier, Dan, I absolutely think that Kyle's in the run for Coach of the Year right now. I mean, there's no reason he shouldn't be.
He should, like him, Steichen, and oh God, who else could be him, Steichen?
Oh, probably.
I would say Todd Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. Yeah,
I would give Todd Bowles a shout out.
Bowles for sure. That's a good one. Honestly, if the Patriots keep winning, Vrabel might. The Patriots are on a 4-game winning streak. Like May's looking pretty damn good too. Can't lie.
Sean Payton in Denver. I think that's another.
What a game that was. My goodness.
I only caught the tail end of that because I was more invested in the Colts game, but. No, when I turned it on, it was the 2-minute warning. So I saw like the actual they pulled it off.
You saw 3 scores happen in 2 minutes.
Oh my God, that was insane. That was absolutely insane.
I did not watch that game, but I looked at the box, like just the score line is the funniest thing because it's like Denver 0, 0, 0, 33 points.
I saved it on my phone. I have a breakdown of the score bug, every single score through the game, and you just see all Giants, all Broncos.
Yeah.
What a dramatic shift that game took.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was insane to watch. Because I was just watching it on my multi-view because I was watching the Colts and I was watching the Packers and Cardinals too. And I walked away from it and it was like 26-9 or whatever. And I was just like, whatever. I'm like, this game's over. Who cares? And then I came back from getting a sandwich or whatever. And all of a sudden it was like 26-18. I was like, this game's back to being interesting. And then I started, and then the Colts game was essentially over at that point in time. So I was like, well, I'm gonna watch this game more. And then it's like that game turned into just an amazing shootout and tons of fun to watch. So
you missed essential, basically from halftime on, it was garbage time for the Chargers. Like that score is very misleading. The Chargers were not in that game at all.
Yeah.
Well, the Broncos, back to the Broncos and Giants at one point. The money line for the Broncos was plus 1,100. Yeah.
One of those live bets we definitely should have kept an eye on. That's very funny. That payout for even $5 would have been great.
Yeah, would have been. It's just crazy, I mean, but how often does that really happen? I mean, talking like a 1% time. Like that happens. So
I was explaining to my wife how big a catastrophic failure that is for the Giants. And not to dogpile on him, but that kicker, man, that sucks. Because they only got a game-winning kick because the Giants kicker missed an extra point, and that's just a shame. That just sucks.
We missed 2 extra points in that game.
Oh, he missed 2? Oh, yeah. I only registered the 1. I saw the 1.
Yeah, he missed 2 extra points in that game.
That sucks.
So he missed 1 earlier, and then they went for 2, and they missed their 2-point attempts. That's why they were like that. That's why their score was off by 3. And then he missed the extra point later in the game too. So yeah, it all got set up by that.
Oh my God. I was just thinking, you just got me thinking.
We played the Giants.
Yeah, we finding a way to pull this back in. Not that those games were not amazing, but we thought all these games were going to suck this weekend, and luckily they didn't. Except, did you guys actually wake up to watch the Rams kick the crap out of the Jaguars?
No.
Okay, cool. I didn't watch I actually forgot that game was happening. My wife and I went and got breakfast, and we were just hanging out. Totally forgot. Didn't even think about it. And when I checked my phone and saw the score, I was like, I didn't miss anything. But yeah, no, we play the Giants after. God, I can't wait until this road warrior crap is over, because we already had 2 on the road. We got a nice home win, and now Houston's actually playing now. While the listeners, obviously, while we tape this, they're playing. Or no, they're not playing now. They're playing in another hour, because God forbid this game actually happens at a time that anyone that's not on the West Coast wants to watch it. They're playing Seattle. They're playing Seattle in an hour, and then we play the Giants. That's going to be really interesting. Like, what Giants, and we're going to be at MetLife. So we already joked last week that we're just going to get hurt all game. But
the thing about it is too, like, the Eagles are playing the Giants next week. Again, so
I was gonna say, you guys just played them and they rocked it pretty good.
Well, yeah, but that was also MetLife. They're coming to Philly. Also, I will not be in the area that the Eagles will win. That game. I think one of the reasons why they lost the first one was because basically, they were taking, the Giants and, Skeetaboo and Dart, and taking them for granted, thinking that it'd be an easy win. Now that they know that, hey, the Giants can beat us, I think they'll be more prepared, especially in front of a home crowd. And so they'll be able to, to pull that game out. I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. I would like it to be, but at the same time, like, yeah, I think, that's going to be a tough game. And then depending on what happens there, we'll see what type of fight the Giants have when they come to play you.
We got to, I don't want to jump too far to that one, but since got me thinking about it, and I don't really have much else to say about the Falcons game. Like, I'm segueing it into winning at the line. Texans basically have an astounding defensive line, and then like not much else. Because I have all the confidence in the world that we can figure out schemes. That Saul will figure out schemes to get Stroud off his footing, and we can wreck their offense. But can we do the same against their defensive line and like keep Christian running, like still control it through Christian running, not through Mac throwing? If we can handle this defensive line, I feel like this game can be winnable. Based on how we can look at the game film for this one to get an idea too. But do you guys have other thoughts on the Texans? Have you been keeping your pulse on the Texans at all?
I've watched them a little bit. I mean, their offensive line is not good. So I mean, Stroud doesn't get a lot of time back there to do much. Now, I mean, it sucks that Huff just got hurt and is not going to be available to rush the passer. So I mean, this would be an excellent week for John Lynch to somehow make a trade and bring in some sort of a pass rusher. But if we can apply pressure to Stroud and get him off platform, I think we've got an excellent opportunity against them. Their offense is not very potent at this point in time. I think they're one of the lowest scoring teams in the NFL so far this season. Yeah, I mean, Nick Chubb.
Wow. Stroud Mac Jones has two less games or one less game than Stroud, and wow. The numbers are so much better.
Yeah, I mean, Chubb isn't doing anything. Nico Collins is their best receiver, and he has less receiving yards than Christian McCaffrey. So, I mean...
He's got 3 touchdowns on 22... Oh, I thought that was receiving yards. Okay, he's got 22 catches and 3 touchdowns. Okay, I was going to say 22 yards and 3 touchdowns is impressive.
So, I mean, it's just... their offense is not very impressive. So, to your point, I think we can scheme and I think we can hold their offense down. I think their defense, DeMeco Ryans, we know he's capable of as a defensive coordinator, even though he's their head coach now. I mean, he has a lot of say and input on their defense. I think he can come up with a defensive scheme that can possibly be effective. But, I mean, if you scroll back down there, Dan, I mean, like you can see, I mean, like they were putting up, 9 points, 19 points, 10 points, and then 26 against Tennessee, who sucks, and then 44 against the Ravens, who suck. So, I mean, they're not doing anything with the ball.
Well, look, this is what I mean by their defense is still pretty good. They've only let one team hit 20 points, and it was Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, win or loss, all these teams have been held under 20 points. Like, so D'Amico still knows clearly what he's doing with his defense. And again, that defensive line's got Will Anderson on one side, and then it's got Daniil Hunter on the other. And their secondary's got Stingley Jr. Like, this is not a cupcake defense we're going to go against.
No, not at all. It'll be a challenge defensively. I'm just saying offensively. I mean, I think if we can get to 23 points, I think we can win the game.
But that means we got to get over that 17, that cursed 17 that we can sometimes get stuck on.
Yes, I hate that. So
see, we only beat the Falcons because we scored 20.
Yeah. Yep. So, but no, I think I'm going into Houston feeling pretty confident.
I do too. I just saw, like, obviously we'll see if that line changes depending on how their game goes against Seattle, but they're 2-point favorites, which
what?
Yeah, they're 2-point favorites right now. From ESPN Bet. I don't know what our DraftKings line is.
What?
Really though, if they're saying they're minus 2.5, it's still, I still think that's indicative that they think more of the 49ers than really what's showing there.
Oh no, sorry, that's the spread. They're only 1.5-point favorites.
What do you mean that's the spread? That's the.
Wait, or I'm dumb.
Yeah.
The spread's 2.5. Open was 1.5. Yeah. Wow. Money line is minus 135. They're not much. They're not favored by much, but yeah, they opened as favorites.
Yeah, they're favored by 1.5 on DraftKings too. That's a 1:00 game too. I hate 1:00 games.
Oh, yep, right there. Damn it, really? 1:00 games suck. Well, when we play 1:00, I agree that sucks.
Yeah,
but that is not our last 1:00 game. We got one more 1:00 game after Thanksgiving when we go to Cleveland.
Yep.
But they'll be. Oh no, I got some good confidence. I got some confidence back. Like Tampa really bummed me out. Like, but it was a nice little rebound that we got facing Atlanta. I think I honestly don't really have that many notes. Like other than I'm more worried now that we got that injury report with Bryce Huff pulling his hamstring. Like that really kind of took the wind out of my sails.
I mean, John's going to have to make a trade. I mean, the question is who can he trade for, right? So, I mean, like, it's just still too early. There's still too many games left. There's what is there?
We got 10 games left.
Just 2 more Sundays between now and the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still a little too early for some teams to decide whether or not they're sellers or buyers. And so,
unless they're Miami.
yeah. I mean, Miami should be getting rid of everybody and everything. But most of the teams in the league are still within shooting distance of getting back into it, at least.
Yeah.
And so,
Falcons are 3-3. They're not. The Falcons, for example, they're 3-3. That's not out of the picture by any means this early.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Dolphins and the Jets. Those teams should be selling. Those teams stink. They're not doing anything this season. You have the Ravens at 1-5, but the Ravens are going to feel like as soon as Lamar Jackson comes back that they have a shot, so they're not going to do anything. You have the Tennessee Titans who stink. They should sell.
To the Ravens, they're not going to break up that core. They're not going to break up that core if they don't have to.
No, not really. You got the Raiders. I mean, they should sell, but they're probably not going to. You have the Giants at 2-5. They're not going to sell because they're so high on Dart and Scatterboo that they're going to be convinced that they can do something in that NFC.
No, the hype train is too hot right now for the Giants. They're not going to sell.
Yeah. You got the Saints at 1-6. They should probably sell, but the Saints have not sold for the last however many years. That's why they're in salary cap hell as it is. So I mean,
Yeah,
they clearly don't know how to make smart roster moves. So
their owner doesn't.
You say Mickey Loomis is not a good GM, like something that we've been saying on this show for like 3-4 years now, or however long we've been going. Like they, I mean, if that's what they want to do, the Saints do. But as long as that guy's GM, they're not going anywhere.
No, we gotta pull off. I don't know what kind of trade we're gonna be able to pull off. Like, because like you said, that's a great point that no one's really out of it except the Jets and the Titans and the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful of teams basically that are done at this point in time, and that's it. But that's a handful of teams, and then you got the Cardinals sitting at 2-5 in our division.
That's
which I mean, they're not going to trade anybody to us.
No.
And they've lost all their games by basically like one score too. So they're going to feel like, well, if we could just turn things just slightly around, we could be right back in this thing. So I mean, they're also probably not going to be sellers either. So I mean, there's really only 3-4 teams that are real sellers right now. So who can you get off of those teams that's any good? The Dolphins have a couple pass rushers that are on there that would be useful to have.
Honestly, if Salah's got any pointers to gems in the Jets, I would take any of those opinions that he has very seriously.
Yeah. I mean, the Jets have a couple people on their team that would be valuable. The Titans have Justin Simmons, I think is his name, but they've already said that they're not going to move him. So
nope.
I mean,
I saw that same thing. They're not moving him or Ward. Otherwise, you can take whoever. Except Lockett, because Lockett, right before we got on here, Lockett was granted his release. But good luck trading a 32-year-old wide receiver. So, I mean, I don't blame him.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's slim pickings right now. But now you go 2 more weeks and you add 2 more losses onto a couple of these teams. And then you might have a more interesting scenario where they look a little bit more rough around the edges,
Why did Dart have to get good when it seemed very realistic that we could have traded for Thibodeau on the last year of his contract?
Yeah.
That would have been a wonderful pickup getting him.
Yeah, Dart does look pretty good, actually.
I know. Couldn't he just be ass like most rookies? And no, whatever's going to happen at the trade deadline is going to be a surprise because I'm with you guys. I have no idea what we're going to be. I don't know what we're going to be able to pull off. Like, it just, John's got to work some serious magic. Like he does. John is always historically unpredictable at the trade deadline. Like, we can agree on that. Whether he is holding on to somebody that he doesn't want to trade unless it's right, or he pulls off a trade that we didn't see coming. Like, Jimmy was a trade we didn't see coming. Like, we knew the rumor mill, but him actually pulling it off and signing him to then the richest contract back in 2018, we were all stunned that he actually pulled that off.
Yeah.
And then same with the draft day trade with the Bears too. He can make magic happen like when we least expect it.
Yeah, and he can also make big blunders and as well. But it's just
D. Winters was a fluke. D. Winters was a massive fluke. Or not D. Winters, D4. D4 was a massive fluke. We didn't know that his back was going to give out.
And we're just going to ignore that he gave up 3 number 1s for Trey Lance. Like, that's like, probably his biggest move that Brock Purdy bailed him out of pretty much.
Yeah. We think our lucky stars that Brock Purdy literally saved John his job.
Basically, yeah.
And now, I mean, God, and that just makes me laugh too that we got Mac Jones after all, and Kyle was right. He was a great quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but I mean, he went and signed Mac Jones this offseason, and Mac Jones has so far saved the 49ers season so far.
Well, I think we've learned, John's learned, and just given the fact that what seems to happen on a regular basis on the 49ers is the main quarterback gets injured sometime during the season. You're going to need a backup, and so John has obviously seen that one of the more valuable positions of your team is who your backup quarterback is. And
it's not about how high. It's not about how good they are in terms of a ceiling. It's what are you sacrificing in terms of a floor. And Mac Jones clearly has a much higher ceiling than a low floor, which is exactly what you want in a backup. You don't want your backup to collapse your floor.
Yeah.
You look at it, what was it last year? Sam Darnold,
Sam was very, very limited with us, but he was very good when he was out there.
I mean, he decided to hold on to Jimmy, even though Jimmy wanted a trade and things like that. When a couple of years ago. So
that was damn near Jimmy's best year with us too.
Yeah, I mean, so other than the Trey Lance thing, I mean, he's been good at figuring out like, okay, I need a decent backup. So yeah, I think that's one thing John has gotten right, and basically that's what's kept his job. Is the fact that he's been able to find, high floors, low ceiling, whatever you want to say, quarterbacks that can come in and just work Kyle's system enough to win games.
It's literally not. It's like he's telling them, like, it's literally not about you. If you master my playbook, you will look good. You just gotta follow my script to the letter, and you'll be fine.
This is the same playbook that made Matt Ryan an MVP. Like, so if anybody has any ounce of talent at the quarterback position with this system, it's obvious that they can do at least a decent job to win the game.
No, for sure.
I mean, Dad did the same thing for years.
Tie it back to why Kyle should definitely be in the running for Coach of the Year.
Yep.
Like, we're basically at the halfway point. Technically, next week is. But if we wanted to go ahead and give our halfway mark Coach of the Year, let's just call it nominees. Like Steichen for sure, Todd Bowles for sure, Kyle Shanahan, and then who's going to be the fourth one? Did we say? I'm not entirely sold on Sean Payton. Thinking about it, who would be fourth besides Steichen, Bowles, and
Vrabel, maybe?
Oh yeah, Vrabel.
Oh, I pitched. I even pitched him. Yeah, there we go. Our midway point for Coach of the Year nominees. I think that's a good bunch.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Well, I think with that, guys, I think this has been a solid recap of this game. Did you guys have any last thing before I give a shout out to our sponsor?
No, it was great to see Mustafa out there just bashing people again.
Yeah,
so that was awesome. That dude's like a missile out there,
doing his best Hufanga impression.
All he does is just come up and just truck the crap out of people.
Yeah, no, it's good to have Mustafa back. If we can, this is why we need to just worry about the defense, because offense is just injuries. It's not even long-term injuries. The only long-term injury that we don't have any long-term injuries on offense except Brandon. Like, luckily everybody else should, knock on wood. So whatever you can do for our defense, just pull off whatever trade you can. Time's running out.
Yep.
Well, with that, guys, it's time to give a little shout out to our sponsor, RoyalRetros.com. What is Royal Retros? It's your go-to place to get yourself an authentic throwback jersey, whether it's football, basketball, or any of the major sports. They got you covered. But obviously, we're all Bay Area fans here, so check out the Candlestick collection. It is curated with the Bay Area in mind. It's got baseball Giants gear. It's got 49ers gear. And when you find something that you like, use the promo code Shady Sports, and that'll get you 10% off of your entire order. Excuse me. Again, it's promo code Shady Sports to get 10% off of your entire order at RoyalRetros.com. It helps us out. It helps out our awesome EP Sam and everybody in the Shady Sports Network family of shows. Promo code Shady Sports, and you will get 10% off of your entire order at RoyalRetros.com. Go get yourself an authentic throwback jersey today. Jimmy B, we are selling T-shirts. Please tell people where they can get them and what else they will get with those shirts.
So, guys, we've been trying to raise awareness due to the lack of accountability of NFL owners. Owners have, the commissioner has said owners are supposed to be held to a higher standard than players. But you probably heard a million different things about a million different players as doing bad things and have been, left in the woods about some of the things that owners have been doing, particularly we talked about the Saints. They had a nice little scandal with the Catholic Church in the Diocese of New Orleans. So we are raising awareness, and we are selling T-shirts for our charity, Mountain Comprehensive Care Centers in Kentucky. This is our statement: owner standards are less than player standards. # owner accountability. $22.99 gets you that in a T-shirt, and we have different colors, different sizes, different styles of all those. Next up, we have our podcast logo art. You'll find this in our profile picture on like YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen or watch us. This is in our profile picture. $22.99 gets you that in a T-shirt, and we have different styles, different sizes of that. Next up, we have our alternate podcast logo art. $22.99 gets you that in a T-shirt, and we have different colors, different styles, and sizes of that. And last but not least, how can you say no to our mascot, a peanut, sitting on the couch, cheering on the San Francisco's 49ers? $22.99 gets you that in a T-shirt. We have different styles and different sizes. Donate to Mountain Comprehensive Care Centers. All the proceeds go to them.
Yes, the link again to the shirts, our Bonfire store, is in the show notes, and information on Mountain Comprehensive Care Center themselves is in the show notes as well. Not that it would matter to you all because the game is already done. This is just for us. We're at the 2-minute warning, and the Lions are up 14-0 on the Bucks, so that would help us out with seeding. That'd be wonderful. And I was incorrect. The game actually kicks off at 10 o'clock, not 9 o'clock for Houston and Seattle. So fat chance I'm going to watch any of that game. Eric, I will cut you off because I did see some breaking news because I checked I just checked Facebook. While you're talking, James. Your boy, Brandon Graham, is actually coming out of retirement.
Yeah,
he joined the Eagles for a 60 season.
That's been like the low key news that's come out. We really need edge help,
Sure, it wasn't hard to sweet talk him into signing a 1 year, probably $4 million contract.
I mean, to get Brandon Graham to play on the Eagles doesn't take much. Like he's one of our most beloved sons in Philadelphia. And I'm sure, if they said, we'll, come back, we'll give you, $3 million and we'll put a statue outside or whatever, he's just been like, I'm
surprised you don't have a statue. Like you did the statue of the, right before the Philly special. I'm surprised the statue wasn't Brandon Graham sacking Brady.
I know that that's everybody talks about Philly special, but really the play that won us the Super Bowl was that strip sack. Absolutely 100%. Like at that point in the game, I was like, okay, we're going to win this thing,
Yeah. There's a reason that they put that on the set of It's Always Sunny for every season after that. Like they have that as a framed photo in the background if you look close enough.
Yeah, obviously. And, and so, I mean, Brandon Graham coming back, last season he was it wasn't like he was the best, but he was a decent contributor last season for the Eagles. And, I think, at the right after the end of last season and what the philosophy was going to be for the Eagles was to basically get a little bit younger at all positions, especially on the defense. But there's you look, I'm trying to think like, he's probably the biggest voice in the locker room when it comes to the defense. And I think part of that they're sort of missing that this year. Hey, they're sort of missing that this year. From the team, So I think it'll be good. From what I read, like this was something like, where it was, between him and Howie, like, okay, I'm going to retire, but hey, if you need me next season or whatever, like, yeah, I'll consider coming back. So
if you need me after training camp.
Yeah. But you're talking about a guy that, when he was drafted, I believe he was drafted 1 or 2 spots ahead of Earl Thomas. And so the early trajectory of both of their careers, Earl Thomas looked like he was going to be, like a multiple time Super Bowl champion, maybe a first ballot Hall of Famer type of thing. And then, how the trajectories had, sort of evened out. And then Graham has one more Super Bowl than him, and, the fact that, I mean, I know you guys don't listen to talk radio in Philadelphia, but I did for many, 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 many years. And it was always like a big debate of like what we should do with Brandon Graham. Like we need to get rid of him, Earl Thomas is better. And then, he makes the biggest play in franchise history, and that's it. That's it. Earl Thomas's name is no longer in Philadelphia natives' vocabularies anymore. And so, like
you made the better pick. Earl Thomas had a phenomenal career in Seattle in his own right, even until he flamed out pretty spectacularly. But you could argue that you could take either one and take their careers, but 15 years in one city and 2 Super Bowls, and people don't talk about this enough. He made the Pro Bowl in the pandemic season. So, with the way Pro Bowls even were before that or whatever, somebody would say, I'm not going to go. All of a sudden, somebody becomes a Pro Bowler that really shouldn't be a Pro Bowler, right? And so when you talk about the pandemic season, there was no Pro Bowl. And so everybody who got voted to the Pro Bowl was truly a Pro Bowl player. And so, when we look at the 2020 season and the Pro Bowl teams, like those truly were the best people in the league. And so, and there were no sort of like faux, Pro Bowlers, There was no Huntley in that Pro Bowl.
Yeah, there was no Matt Schaub, like the Pro Bowler Matt Schaub I saw one time like that. I just thought that was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
Well, just real quick, Eric, is there any other breaking story than the one elephant in the room that we didn't address yet?
No.
Okay, cool. I already dropped Tyler Lockett, got released too, but that wasn't surprising. But not to end the show on a dour note, I think it'd be kind of disrespectful to a degree if we didn't mention that Doug Martin, former Buccaneer for 6 years, I think it was, maybe 7, but a very, very, very respected, amazing player in his prime. He was a All-Pro, multiple Pro Bowler. Doug Martin, he passed away on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been Sunday, but I don't want to speculate on like the circumstances. We just don't have the clearest picture of it yet. We know what TMZ reported. We know what some local Oakland news is coming out with, but like, at least it's still kind of murky what was going on. So I just want to say that my heart's broken for that family. My heart's broken for Tampa Bay fans, the Tampa organization. I do have a small part in my heart for Tampa for some reason. But no, like for real, like that's just a tragedy. He was only 36, and we've seen a lot of players just pass really young lately over the past couple of years, like Demaryius Thomas, who was put in the Ring of Honor this weekend in Denver, and Ronnie Hillman too. Not to just single out Broncos players, but yeah, no, that was just very, very heartbreaking news to hear about Doug Martin passing. I just didn't want to. I didn't want us to ignore that story. I didn't want people to think we were going to ignore that, because that's just to pass when he passed. That's. In the circumstances, we'll get more clarity on that later. But I don't know. My heart aches for everybody in Tampa.
I mean, Doug Martin, I loved him when he was playing. He was on my fantasy team like that, his rookie year. Like, he was like an unknown going into the season. And then the next thing you know, he's, rushing for 100 yards every single game. Like, this truly like one of those,
Those two, 15, 16, I think it was, like, he had a little stretch there, like maybe even like 14 to 16. Like, he was one of the best running backs in the league.
Absolutely. Yep. And understand there are still facts coming out about this. There's very little known at this point, you know. The most that we know is that, you know, the police came to an incident at a house, and he died in police custody. There's no talk about, like, you know, if he was somehow arrested or anything like that. So that's just basically what we know right now. And like you said, Dan, it's tragic for the family and his loved ones for, you know, for whatever reason he was there, for whatever reason everything happened. You know, his family, you know, lost, you know, a brother, a son, a father. And so it's still tragic in any rate. So.
Yep. Sad to see him go.
Yeah. And on that note, again, not trying to, this was another fun episode. We're going to have another fun episode on Friday. We're going to make a bet that actually hits. So we're going to pick two things.
Let's do a 2-leg parlay. Woo!
Exactly.
It needs to be like super ridiculous. Like, good odds.
Oh yeah, it's 2 picks at plus 1,500. But yeah, we'll be back on Friday with our Week 7 parlay. We'll say our final prayers for a victory against Houston, and yeah, we'll see you guys then. It was a good week this week, and yeah, Jimmy, get us out of here.
Outro music, River Road, Justin Muth.
See ya.
Hey, stop chewing them.
Beat the Texans. We'll see you later.
River Road, you got me running way back home. River Road, you got me running all night long. You got me singing some canal boat song. River Road, you got me running all night long. River Road, where have all the women gone? Have they kissed her hand and waved you bye-bye? Have they thought about crossing your double yellow lines? River Road, they love the